Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, first thing on the docket is we want to get a visual to what our market needs, what we're importing, and what we can produce more of. So, fertilizer, we're getting a tiny amount from abroad. We don't need to necessarily increase that, although we could. We are actually trading quite a bit of it out of the country. Those imports, they are actually still productive, so that's pretty alright. Okay, so that's something we can increase. So let's go ahead and do it. Do it! Auvergne-Limousin has a little bit of unemployment. Aquitaine has some. Rhône we're already building a bunch in. Yeah, let's stack up in Auvergne-Limousin and Aquitaine. We'll just bring both of those up to 5. Paper, we are trading a little bit out of the country. We're bringing in a tiny amount. Got a little bit of an imbalance there. Could stand to increase it. So let's just boost it up by a little bit. And put one more in Ile-de-France, Auvergne-Limousin, and Poitou-Saintonge. Let's see, what else? Clothes we could produce a little bit more of. We're not trading out that much, but partially that's because they're a little bit expensive. Mostly they're getting a lot of those from subsistence farms, which obviously is not ideal. We can technically produce more clothes using better production methods, though. If we use sewing machines, we can use less silk overall, which is fine. Increase tool and fabric input and dye input. I think that's going to be worth it. It looks like they've become less profitable, but I don't think they actually have done. Anyway, the cost for clothes is way, way down. So let's see what we can sell now. Oh my gosh. Every country will pay for our delicious, delicious clothes. Prussia, Russia, the Ottoman Empire, Spain, Brazil, Chile. Chile will give us a very good price on clothes. Alright, so that's good. That's going to help things. There's postal savings unlocking. So we're moving directly forward to steel frame buildings. That's going to really help the economy. So with those trade routes established, let's sort by good here. Wow, we're exporting clothes to a lot of places. Those are going to increase, and hopefully that's going to increase the size of the market for clothes. We're doing pretty well on convoys right now, so that's just fine. Furniture, I think we might want to end up doing the same thing. How are we with tools, though? Because I don't want to mess up my tools market. Okay, tools are quite expensive. So I think we need to get our tooling workshops increased significantly. Are we? We're not bringing in tools from outside, are we? We're not. Alright. We're going to need about 1,000 more tools. Each level is producing 80, so we're going to need about 12 more levels of tools here. So let's build 4 levels in Normandy, 4 levels in Burgundy, and we don't have any other provinces that end in D. Brittany's close, though, so we'll put 4 levels in Brittany. I'm a very scientific economy manager. We got the silk plantations rolling. Great Mosque of Jen is almost done. I think a lot of this stuff is more important than the silk plantations. Let's just throw 5 levels of... Actually, no, 4, because we put them in blocks of 3. Of tooling at the top, we'll put those silk plantations above, and that'll be just fine. So, what's next? Hardwood, we're actually bringing in quite a bit of hardwood. It's no rush on wood, though. Let me see. What's wood look like? Wood is... We could actually get more of our logging camps producing hardwood. They're all producing hardwood. I'm a big smarty. Where do we have a bunch that we could switch over? Not a lot of places. I think for logging camps, we'll just fill out the ones with low capacity, so that I'm not thinking about it too hard. Basically, any that are pretty close to capacity, I can just finish. That's probably going to be enough. And I'm not too short on wood overall. What else? We got a lot of gold. We're doing pretty well on coal. We're not bringing in any of that. Luxury furniture, we're good to go. We're exporting quite a bit of luxury furniture. That's cool. Furniture is another thing that's on the docket to have its overall size increased through expansion of production methods, but in order to do that, we need to get the tools that we're currently building up. Given the amount of cash we've got, I'm actually extremely tempted to increase the size of the construction industry. Oh, we're a little short on dyes. We're using way more dyes than I thought we were going to be using. So let's take a look at our dyes trade routes, because I know we're actually not exporting any of that through our own mechanisms. Alright, so we're exporting tons of clothes now, and that should be significantly raising the price of clothes. It is 333 through trade routes. So how is that helping the textile mills? They're good. They're doing well. Wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So if I go to precision tools, I'll be able to output a ton more luxury furniture, and we'll be able to sell a lot of that. We also are going to need to flex hardwood up in order to make that possible. Mechanized workshop is going to be much the same. Less hardwood, but more wood. But if we increase both of these, so currently we're outputting 40 furniture per level and 25 luxury furniture. If we go to mechanized workshops, it's going to be 110 furniture and... Wait, hold up. That's going to be base 110. We're currently at base 65 minus 25 plus 25. So that's 40 and 25. 40 regular, 25 luxury. If we go to mechanized workshop, we're going to be outputting 110 base furniture. And if we also go to precision tools, we're going to be outputting minus 55 regular furniture and plus 55 luxury furniture. So overall, it's going to be 55 each luxury and standard furniture if we go to the highest production methods for the furniture manufacturers. So I think that's going to be useful overall. I think we're definitely going to do that. The temptation is too high, friends. I'm going to increase the size of the construction industry. We're going to put 3 levels each in Normandy and Brittany. And if that's a mistake, then it is what it is. The people of France will pay the price because I am the king. So, what else? Continuing on down here. Explosives were good. Luxury furniture were good. I just checked that. We are actually bringing in quite a bit of tobacco, but I don't think we've got a lot of capacity for producing more tobacco. So I'm pretty okay with that. It's also an agricultural product. We don't necessarily need to be focusing on that. Grain, we're doing just fine. We're bringing a bunch of grain in. Holy crap. Where's all this grain coming from? Mostly from Russia and China. That's interesting. Russia is our ally. I'm pretty comfortable with that, but an expansion of the agricultural sector would be useful. I might be able to get there through production methods. So let's queue some of that in. We can get improved fertilizers, and that should help. It's going to be a while before we get there, but it's not a rush. We already talked about wood. Fabric, we're doing just fine. We're bringing in 650 of that, but we've got plenty of cotton plantations, livestock ranches, and subsistence farms producing all of the fabric that we need. We're actually over what we need to be having, so that's completely fine. Luxury clothes, we talked about that a little bit. We're doing pretty fine on that. We're exporting tons of them. That's very good. Porcelain, we're producing and mostly consuming our own porcelain. Ditto our glass. Yeah, we're not exporting much glass at all. Can't really export any glass right now. What about porcelain? Export a little porcelain. Let's send some porcelain to America. I don't know how it's getting there without using any convoys, but who am I to judge? Why should we let physics get in the way of the economy? Trade route with Belgium? Absolutely. I should just go to free trade, frankly. Fish. We are not importing or exporting fish. We could be if we were producing more of it, but it's not an ideal thing to expand the economy over. Clippers, we're doing just fine. We're producing plenty enough to support our ports. Clothes, we're producing tons of. Meat, we're producing tons of. We're exporting... We're not exporting any meat. It's not profitable to. Yeah, meat's everywhere in the early game. Sulfur, we're actually bringing quite a bit in through trade routes. So, sulfur is something that should be expanded. Do I have the capacity to expand my sulfur industry by about 4 levels? I've got Lorraine and Senegal. We'll put them in Senegal. And that should allow us to cut down on that trade route. Liquor, actually importing a little bit of it. And we're a net importer of liquor, which is interesting. Can we export it? We can. Prussia will buy absolutely tons of liquor. Wonderful. That's very good. And is the import route on my side? No. So that's fine. And that gets us basically to the bottom. We're finally producing some art from our arts academies. I feel like we got... Am I in another one of those runs where we have 1 million arts academies? No, we only actually have a few levels. Let's produce realist art now. Yes, it's going to make them quote-unquote unprofitable. I'm going to switch up the production methods here. We'll leave it at traditional, though, ultimately. They're not hardly employing any people, which is a shame. Maybe we'll go back to traditional art. Once we get the tools to be cheaper, though, we're going to go back to making them be producing, realist art, because that's going to be really good. Coffee, we're doing pretty well. We're trading a bunch and consuming a bunch. It looks like our trade with the Ottoman Empire is kind of maxed out, I think. Yeah, I think we're basically trading as much as we can to them, which is fine, but it means we don't need to produce any more coffee. And then sugar's dirt cheap. We're exporting a bit of it. We could definitely export more. Prussia will buy our sugar. Belgium will buy our sugar. That's lovely. All right, so that's been a lot of economy management here. Let's go ahead and increase the game speed. And the other thing I was going to work on is reducing the autonomy. I've decided I am going to reduce the autonomy of my subjects in Southeast Asia because that's going to help me get more prestige, and prestige is important. So, let's see. Brunei. Do you still have a truce with us? You do. Alright. Belungan, you've been around long enough. They will accept it if we force them to ban slavery. Reducing autonomy, they will also accept. Let's reduce autonomy. They accept. That was Kutai. Whoops. Anyway, Belungan, you're going as well. They will accept. Very good. Siak. They will accept. Aseh. They will accept. Johor. They will accept. Selangor. They will accept. Perak. They will accept. Sulu. They will accept. Sintang. They will accept. Alright, that was a lot of infamy all at once, but should be fine. They're blue now. These ones are still marked occupied for some reason. Not quite sure what's going on with that, but it is what it is. So, let's see what kind of impact that has had on our prestige. It does not seem to have gone up that much. We are getting... Nope, we're basically right about the same. Cool. Well, once we get Egypt and Tripolitania and some of these others, we'll be doing better with that. I might take a flying leap and go for, like, Siam or something. I think that would be fun. That is all of the areas. Marina Kingdom. Oh, Tahiti. We could turn Tahiti into a dominion. Brunei, we're not able to. Oh, Maguindanao. And Bali. conscientious autonomy. Accept. Hey, we got the ironclad. That's cool. And Bali, they will accept. Let me just take a quick pass through. Loyal 50. Good. Just checking on the relations of all these countries, making sure we're solid with all of them. Brunei, we need to improve relations with. Perak, we need to increase relations with. Alright, cool. Things are looking good. I saw an event. A donation of knowledge. Jérôme Exelmont has offered to spend some of their personal wealth to fund the creation of a university in Provence, though this will likely give the industrialists some influence. The Jérôme Exelmont University will be a proud bastion of learning in these times of rapid progress, where knowledge truly is power. A wonderful idea. We get a university and the industrialists get a little stronger for 5 years. Or, no, we can't afford to give them a platform. I'm going to say it's a wonderful idea. I am almost always going to go for universities. Where are we with respect to our limit? We're actually below our limit, so we could afford to build up some more universities. And I think that's something I'm going to move towards doing. Once our current... Well, you know, it's a queue, so we can definitely... Ooh, there's chemical bleaching. Oh, that's wonderful. Paper bleaching for paper mills. Heck. So, do we have any paper mills in the queue? Looks like we do not. Very good. We do. So we don't need to do that. We can go to chemical bleaching. Diplomatic play in Ethiopia. Very cool. Keep at it. President Volt in Segu. Not sure where that is. Oh, it's over here. Alright. What was I doing? What was I doing? What was I doing? The glassware. No, the paper mills. How is the price of dyes in our market? Dyes are very expensive in our market. Can I build any more dye plantations? Yes, I can. In fact, I can produce quite a few more. So let's start producing more. Windward Coast, you can have 5. Ivory Coast, you can have 5. Guinea, you can have 3 more. Volta... A lot of space in Volta. You can have 5. Cool. Let's go ahead and throw 4 at the top of the queue here. Then we'll finish out with this other stuff. And then we'll be... You know what? We're going to do it now. Heck it. We're doing it now. We're going to get a lot of paper, friends. We're going to get a ton of paper. We're super expensive on dyes. Trade routes for dyes are through the roof. We're not actually importing any. But let's not import because we're currently constructing... We're already en route to constructing some dye plantations. Yeah, I know I got decisions available. I haven't done any of this expedition stuff. I could survey the Suez Isthmus. It would cost a lot of bureaucracy, though. I'll be able to afford that later. Finances are very good, actually. How's the investment pool? Investment pool is pretty solid. It's got 1.5 million pounds in there. Not super keen on doing anything with that. How much longer do I have this truce with Brunei? It's over now. Wonderful. How would you like to have your autonomy reduced? They will accept. Confirm. Wonderful. So, having reduced the autonomy of all these places here in Southeast Asia, what does that give us from diplomatic pacts? We got about 10k in diplomatic pacts, which is not bad at all. We can definitely afford to get more. Prussia is trying to bully Denmark. What are you trying to bully Denmark about? You want a treaty port in Jutland. Why would you want that? Prussia, you're making it weird. Stop making it weird in Europe. Make it weird in other places. That's what the age of imperialism is about. Prussia, get with the program. You can't make things weird in Europe, dude. Benin sides with Denmark. You get him, Benin. Oh my gosh, how scumbaggy would it be? Wait, hold on. Horgals. Conquer state. Oh my gosh. I can't, I don't have the infamy to do this. Ooh. I could get a tiny chunk of Denmark's overseas empire. I could grab Danish Niger Delta or the Danish West Indies. I'm gonna do it actually. So yes, let's mobilize the Army of Africa. There's actually technically 2 fronts here somehow. We'll mobilize 2 armies. I don't think it's actually going to be that big of a deal. So we'll deal with Benin. And then because it's Britain that borders Denmark over here. So we'll need to use a fleet to invade that territory. But that's fine. Let's get Escadre de la Méditerranée over here. And we'll get Escadre du Nord over here to the North Sea. Very nice. I thought I mobilized the Army of Africa. I am going to mobilize the Army of Africa and just put them in northern France. I don't think this war is gonna go everywhere all at once, but I do want to be prepared in the event of things getting silly. It's going to put a little bit of a hole in my finances, but that's all right. My finances are overall pretty good. I'm not mobilizing the first corps yet, because I don't ultimately think it'll be necessary. If someone else gets into this, I think I could. But overall, I'm feeling very confident in my overall capability of getting this wee tiny island. That was very silly. I'd forgotten I haven't actually taken the West Indies from Great Britain yet. Because that's something that, like, I definitely will have on my docket. 2 arms. Alright, there's that battle finished. Both these armies are deployed up here. This front is looking very good. The Danish army is leaving. That is fine. So after this, I'm going to use one of those fleets to invade the Danish West Indies. Currently working on building up those silk plantations. That's very good. Let's go ahead and get the fertilizer plants ahead of them. But not all the way ahead of them. We'll work on that other stuff later. Trader out importing paper is busted. That's completely okay. I just really dramatically increased my paper output, so actually we can use that as an opportunity to reduce our paper inputs on the whole. How are we doing here? We're actually doing completely fine. So looking at the construction industry, I think I want more of the dye plantations built up once the silk plantations in Provence are completed. So I'm just going to do a quick rotate here. And then we'll put the ones on the Ivory Coast at the bottom of the list for now. Completely stopped paying attention and missed that my war was done. We'll invade there with the 2nd Corps. No, we'll invade with the 3rd Corps. And then let's have Escadre du Nord try and invade Jutland with the 2nd Corps. Thus, I am participating in the peace deal, but I can't propose things. So once the others say yes to the things that I want, we'll be able to get that going. Standard of living is going up a little. Pleased about that. Benin has capitulated. That's not shocking. Could have stolen a chunk of Benin. Didn't end up doing it. Kind of wishing I had been able to. Egypt is feeling very loyal. Relations are good. I actually can reduce their autonomy right away as soon as this war is done, and I might do that, but I'm going to wait for a bit until my infamy goes down, because I don't want to necessarily... that might push me above 25, because Egypt is a pretty large country. Something going on in Futa Toro. There's a proletarian rebellion. I think we conquered the Danish West Indies. Have we? I think so. I think that has happened. Yeah, because these guys are stationed now. So we'll station them back in France. And how is our naval invasion going? 0% progress, but it's not... Oh, right, because we're still fighting a naval battle here. Haha, that would do it. The limit of the nation. The notion of natural borders has become popular among the supporters of the Desling regime. The Desling regime? Huh. French patriots demand the expansion of the French state into bordering regions. The limits of France are marked by nature. We will reach the edge of the horizon, from the banks of the North Rhine to the mountains of Savoy to the coast of Flanders. The borders of our nation must be there. Our borders must reach the Rhine. We get a bunch of claims in a bunch of countries. We get reduced infamy decay for 19 years. Don't love that. But we might yeet. We might just do it. Or this is an absurd notion. Landowners get big mad. I've done the natural borders of France before. I think I might not. That might be a huge mistake. Yeah, I think I'm gonna not. I think this is an absurd notion. We did it one way the one time, we'll do it the other way this time. Naval invasion. Excellent. We've successfully occupied Jutland, and that should mean the war will finish out very soon, because we've got a huge chunk of Denmark occupied now. Let's go ahead and get another army over here. We'll get the 3rd Army Corps on its way to this front. Fertilizer plants are still in process. We're about halfway to steel frame, and that's going to really, really increase our capabilities overall. Let's take the Escadre de la Méditerranée and move them back to the Mediterranean. I could also upgrade these man-o'-wars, but I can't do it yet because I'm not actually producing any ironclads, which are the thing you need in order to build ironclad fleets. They're the good you need in order to build ironclad fleets. So once these two... We've got Jutland, so Denmark no longer has war support protection. Perfect. All right. Everything's looking good. So... Perfect. Denmark has capitulated, and we've gotten a little bit more of the West Indies. Just a wee bit more of the West Indies. Ulata is having a native uprising. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's send the Army of Africa there. First Army has lost its general. They're gonna need a new one. You're a Catholic legitimist, but you're also reckless. You are a landowner's legitimist. You're a mountain guy. And you're a petit bourgeois Republican. We'll go with the landowner's legitimist. All right. This war with Ulata will probably go pretty quickly. The Temptation is extremely high to increase the size of the construction industry again. I shouldn't do this. I'm going to put a real strain on my economy, but I gotta. I like building stuff. Okay, we got a new election cycle, so let's take a look at the situation. The Party of Order has once again aligned itself together. We've got an authoritarian heading up the landowners now instead of legitimist, and that seems like it's improved things a little bit. We still got this Democrat in charge of the Catholics. And that's weird, but we're in a legitimate government now, so hopefully that's fine. With that having been said, we're getting close to the end of the episode. I think I'll go to probably the end of June, and then we'll cut it for today. I did say I was going to build up some more universities. I didn't queue up those universities, though, so let's go ahead and do that. We got one in Provence, so we'll build that one up to 5, and we'll build a university in Alsace-Lorraine. Nice to spread out our educational institutions throughout the country. Again, by building up our construction industries, we're slowly eating into our surplus here, but our surplus is pretty high, and our reserve is even higher, so I'm actually not too worried about that overall. We can always pause constructions if we wind up in a war that's costing us a big barrel of cash. We were paused for a long time, and that was very good for our finances. That allowed us to do a lot of overseas conquests and to expand our empire pretty effectively. So I'm pretty pleased about that. This is in the countdown to war, and no one is going to get involved, so I think we can just let that ride out. But that's going to have to wait for next episode. For now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.